Hello and welcome to Google Cloud Next. In this session, we'll walk through how to accelerate your move to the cloud with managed databases. If you're here to learn about Cloud SQL, bare metal solution for Oracle, database migration service, and more, then you are in the right place. We'll also explore why Google Cloud for your databases. My name is Anita Kibunguchy-Grant, and I am the product marketing lead here for the databases organization. And I have the pleasure of being joined by Gigi Goindi, Group Product Manager for Databases. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's a quick agenda for this session. We'll start with what we're seeing in the industry across trends, go through 5 reasons why Google Cloud for your databases. We'll hear from Gigi about real world customer use cases, and finally end with how to get started, including some important resources you should check out. So, some migration trends. Managed services just make sense for databases. I have never met someone who loved managing database infrastructure, at least just not yet. When you think about all the care and feeding necessary to keep your databases healthy, there are a lot of things to consider. All the work to provision, set up, and maintain your hardware, the operating system and database software, plus all the management tools and ongoing patches for security and maintenance. Scaling the system, ensuring that your backups and restores are meeting recovery goals, and that the application can continue to run during various failure recoveries and scenarios. On top of all this, monitoring all of these things to make sure that your system is running the way your business needs to. This is a lot of work and pretty diverse set of skills that are needed. Consider the thousands of databases run by many companies. This work really adds up. Most importantly, these are things that are just table stakes for you, and typically not the things that help you outmaneuver your competitors. It's therefore no surprise that databases are moving fast to the cloud. According to Gartner, 75% of all databases will be deployed or migrated to a cloud platform by 2022, and this is massive. It's important to note that the cloud DBMS market is not new, but what is new is the growth in cloud revenue, which is actually projected to account for 50% of the total DBMS market revenue by 2023. This trend actually helps reinforce the notion that cloud service provider infrastructure and the services that run on top of them are becoming the new data management platforms. And because of this, it's no wonder that so many companies are turning to managed services in the cloud for their databases, that is. So why not let someone else who does it for millions of deployments and who's been automating systems like this for decades handle this for you? Let's talk about why Google Cloud offers the best place to migrate your databases. We'll start with reason number 1. We offer a comprehensive platform that allows you to unify the data across your entire organization. This allows you to break down silos, increase agility, innovate faster, and support business transformation. We connect the different roles that work with data and provide them a common platform to build upon. So no matter where you start, there's always more places to go across analytics, databases, AI, and machine learning services. BigQuery, a fully managed enterprise data warehouse, allows you to run analytics at scale up to 34% lower TCO than other cloud data warehouse alternatives. Spanner provides unlimited scale, global consistency across regions, and high availability up to 5 nines. Looker provides a single shared place for people and applications to interact with it, no matter the cloud environment. And these are just a few of the key services you can take advantage of on the Google Cloud Data Platform. As I mentioned earlier, no matter where you start, there's always more places to go, with best-in-class products across the entire data lifecycle. Let's take a look at reason number 2. At Google Cloud, we understand that most companies have a multi database strategy. In some cases, it's intentional, in others, it's a natural outcome of growth and change over the years. Plus, the fact that replatforming a database can be very intimidating. So, we've been steadily focused on building options that help meet you where you are today and also give you a path for the future. When you look at some of the most popular databases, there are great options on Google Cloud. These are for Oracle, SQL Server, Postgres, and MySQL. And for Postgres, MySQL, and SQL Server, the database migration service provides a serverless experience for quickly and safely migrating your databases from anywhere to Cloud SQL. We also support non relational database workloads. If you're using Redis, you can now take advantage of Google Cloud Memory Store for Redis or Redis Labs, one of our key database partners. For Memcached, you can now use Memory Store for Memcached. For HBase, and if you're ready to move off your Hadoop stack, you can easily migrate to Bigtable, which has been in production for over 15 years at Google and is the original inspiration for HBase. For all that MongoDB you're self managing, you can use MongoDB Atlas on Google Cloud. All of these provide options and flexibility to quickly and safely migrate to the cloud, helping meet you where you are. Let's take a look at reason number 3. We've talked about some of the product capabilities. Let's do a deeper dive into some of them. Let's start with Cloud SQL. Cloud SQL is our fully managed relational database service and one of Google Cloud's fastest growing top services. Over the past year, the team has been focused on addressing many of the major blockers for customers, and we now have unique capabilities in the market. We added the database migration service to migrate your MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server workloads to Cloud SQL. We've significantly reduced maintenance windows by over 80%. And we've also launched Cloud SQL Insights, which bring database observability to your developers. We were first to market to support the latest versions, including Postgres 13, because we want to make sure this is the simplest migration experience for you. Cloud SQL also offers integration with Kubernetes, which makes connecting your applications easy and secure. It also supports federation with BigQuery, and we've seen users querying over 125 petabytes of data in Cloud SQL on average in 1 month. And so Cloud SQL is pretty ready for your critical relational workloads on MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server. The next service we'll do a deeper dive on is the bare metal solution for Oracle. We've taken an optimized approach with our BMS solution for Oracle. We provide certified and optimized hardware for your Oracle workloads, allowing you to run all versions of an Oracle database, including RAC, and all the tools and playbooks you use today, such as DataGuard and Arman. You get to maintain your on-premises licensing, runbooks, DBAs, and system integrators. Google provides management of the data center with enterprise-grade security and reliability. We're available in 13 cloud regions, and we're less than 2 milliseconds away from Google Cloud resources. With bare metal solution for Oracle, you have full control over how the data is managed using optimized and certified SAN storage. And finally, we'll take a look at some of the tools and partners available. As I mentioned earlier, we announced database migration service to migrate your MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server workloads onto Cloud SQL. And we're seeing a lot of customers start to use database migration service to migrate their workloads. We also hear that DMS is easy to use, and more than 85% of the migrations using DMS are underway in less than 1 hour. We also announced DataStream earlier this year, a CDC and change data capture service that provides access to streaming low latency data from Oracle and MySQL databases, with integrations across BigQuery, Cloud Spanner, Dataflow, and Data Fusion. We also work with partner solutions like Stream and also offer assessment tools, including StratoZone and MakeVisor, to get you quickly started on your migration journey. Reason number 4 for why Google Cloud is we provide robust tools and technology to protect and govern your data throughout its lifecycle. We realize that security and governance are key concerns for many of our customers, and providing these controls are key to peace of mind for your databases. We offer built in data protection at scale, and this is by default. All your data is automatically encrypted while in transit and at rest. We've also added customer managed encryption keys for some of our key services, including Cloud SQL and Spanner. Secondly, we supply tools and technology to efficiently govern your data. Cloud Identity and Access Management provides access control and visibility into security policies across your organization. Thirdly, we support compliance requirements with third party audits and certifications. And finally, we believe that trust is created through transparency. And so we provide tools such as Access Transparency, which give you visibility into accesses by either support or engineering. And all these capabilities ensure that your data is protected. And finally, let's look at reason number 5 for why Google Cloud. It goes without saying that your databases are as good as your availability. We offer 5 nines industry leading SLA across our cloud native databases, Spanner, Firestore, and Bigtable, and 4 nines SLA for BigQuery. And these databases are actually built on Google's dedicated network, and they're battle tested by Google Cloud Services used by billions of users. And they're actually made available for your use. All these services are simply unmatched for speed, scale, security, and capability for any sized organization. And these availability SLAs ensure that your business continues to run without disruption. So there you have it. 5 key reasons why migrating your databases to Google Cloud is a good move for your business. From the fact that we offer managed services for your Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server workloads, including Redis, MongoDB, and HBase, to the sophisticated security and privacy controls, all the way to the 5 nines availability across some of our key services. Whew, I realized that was a ton of information. So it'll be good to be able to bring all these things to life. So let's do a deep dive into 3 key customer use cases across some of these key services. So I'm excited to welcome Gigi, Group Product Manager, to talk more to us. Welcome, Gigi.
Thank you, Anita. Indeed, that was a great overview of our portfolio and the reasons why customers are choosing our solutions. And I 100% agree with you. In my 20 years of my career here in Silicon Valley, I have not met a single person who wakes up in the morning and say, managing databases really excites me. What they do wake up and tell us is how we can help them run these databases more efficiently, more reliably, help them build new customer experiences at the same time lowering their cost. One such customer that I like to talk about is a leading travel service provider or travel company, you might say. This industry is in a lot of churn, and customers are trying to build. These companies are trying to build new experiences for their customers, and their customer base is also evolving. So this company turned to us, and the reason they like the strategy is the breadth of our product portfolio, whether it be the world's leading 5 nines databases such as Spanner, or our ability to provide a stable, secure, high-performant home for the legacy databases estates, which might be running on databases like Oracle. This particular customer had a lot of Oracle databases running on premises, on AWS, you name it. With bare metal solution, we were able to provide them a home where they can migrate as is, and then upgrade these databases to Spanner or other cloud native databases at their own pace. Not only they were able to keep all of their run books and playbooks and partners as is, at the same time they were able to benefit from the extreme low latency to Google Cloud so that they can iterate their workloads back and forth between a cloud native database and a traditional database such as Oracle. What was a real needle mover for them, they had the plethora of Oracle versions, and they probably used every possible Oracle HA technology. With Oracle BMS, they were able to leverage those technologies as is and move their databases to production in a record amount of time. On the other spectrum of industry, I would like to share an example with a leading German bank we are working on. You might know, all of you might know, banks are really particular about data security. Not that others are not, but they're regulated towards data security, data residency, and privacy. With the Oracle Bare Metal solution, they were able to meet the stringent regulatory requirements placed upon them as a business. At the same time, with the help of our engineering teams, they were able to migrate over 100 mission critical Oracle databases to Oracle Bare Metal solution within 3 months. Now they're using the data sitting in the databases in Bare Metal solution to build new experiences with using cloud native databases in GCP. Last but not the least, I would like to talk about one of my favorite use cases is this big ticketing marketplace, which built their entire business on a set of clustered databases running on Oracle. And they look to GCP to help them take this smart marketplace and transform it in an extensible scale that Spanner provides, extensible and 5.9 availability that Spanner provides. But this journey is not simple and needs a lot of steps and iteration between them. So they decided to move their clustered databases, which was running on aging hardware, to the state of the art infrastructure provided by Oracle Bare Metal solution that enabled them to not only modernize or at least lower the cost of running their databases using modern hardware on Oracle Bare Metal solution, at the same time start modernizing their existing applications with Google Cloud Spanner. Um, not but last but not the least, this customer has been live with running one of the largest Oracle cluster in any public cloud with bare metal solution, and we are very happy to have them here. With that being said, Anita, I'll hand it back to you to take us through this presentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Gigi. Those are all such great example use cases, and I'm sure many of them will actually resonate with you. So, how should you think about moving forward with your migration journey? A good migration plan is going to have four key phases. First, your assessment phase, where you work to understand exactly what you have already. Secondly, based on that assessment, you start to plan what you should move and how you should move it. Third, you start to execute the migration itself. And finally, you fine tune and optimize what you've migrated. I think this should sound pretty familiar. Gigi just talked about the customer who actually went through these type of four key phases, and they're actually still going through that journey. And I realize that we're representing this migration plan as a single circle, but in reality, it's a bit more recursive. In that, you'll have your high level migration plan, but then you also have groups of applications called migration waves that have their own specific plan as well. And each subsequent plan in theory is adapting the lessons from previous migration waves. In addition, it's not uncommon to go back and forth between each of the four different phases. It's all about building that migration muscle memory and realizing that this is a journey. And so, what tools do we offer? And all of these should now sound very, very familiar. For your database assessments, you should check out MigVisor and StratoZone. We have 50 plus regional champions trained on MigVisor that are a combination of CEs, PSO, and partner engineering teams who are ready to help you carry out your assessments. We also offer partner programs as well. We also talked about the database migration service for your MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server workloads. And finally, we're also working really hard to improve that customer experience across our teams and services to help you quickly and safely and efficiently migrate your databases to Google Cloud. And last but not least, make sure you check out this great white paper resource with a lot of good information around migrating your databases. It has a lot of the content we spoke about in this presentation, and actually provides it in much more detail. It will be included in the resource section of this presentation. You can also get started with some hands on labs as well. I know that Cloud SQL is widely represented, and so you can actually get started on checking out the hands on labs there. And so I'd like to thank you again for joining us for this presentation and for this session. And we absolutely value your feedback. So please take the time to provide it. Let us know what we did well and what we could have done to improve for next time. Thank you so much. And thanks again, Gigi, for joining me in this session.
Thanks, Anita, for having me.